I'm in great form today, I have to say. I knew we'd get the Here We Go soon, but of course, typical me, when it's time for me to take a day off, it arrives. But you know what? I'd rather it arrived than it didn't, so let's get stuck into it. Shall we start off with the good stuff? No time to hang around tonight. Let's get straight into it. So what we knew yesterday was that Liverpool were getting closer. We knew that they were going to trigger the clause. We knew that it was only a matter of time, but we were worried. We were worried from the outside that maybe will we see a Barcelona move right at the end? And the answer to that is no. So these words that we waited for, the Here We Go, Fabrizio Romano posted earlier on to say, Jeremy Frimpong set to join Liverpool. Here we go. On top of that, he said agreement done for the Dutch right back as Leverkusen are informed that Liverpool will trigger the release clause. Understand Frimpong will sign a 5-year deal, medical now being scheduled, and he will be on Merseyside in the next 48 hours or so. And just to show you that I can play fair, credit to David Lynch on that one. He was the one that called 48 hours for Frimpong and his medical. And let's hope it all goes well. So, as you can see, I'm always happy to give credit where it's due. And I'm delighted on this one. Absolutely delighted to see that Liverpool have gotten over the line so quickly. And on the day as well, where we got the announcement of our other young right back. And let's not forget about him, Connor Bradley, today signed terms with Liverpool Football Club as well to increase his stay here by at least another 4 years. So a massive congratulations to Connor Bradley on a very well-deserved new deal. Are we happy about Frimpong? It is one area that's boxed off now, and have to say I'm buzzing about it. The idea of him coming in to bring that energy again down the right hand side, I think it's gone for his medical. The Bundesliga finished today, so he'll come over to Liverpool. It'll get sorted really quickly, even if his source was wrong. Look, honestly, it happens to everyone. Look, I've seen a lot of people giving him a lot of stick today, and I just want to say, don't be doing it from our regard. I like a little bit of banter as much as anybody else, but it happens. Genuinely, it happens. I've been told stuff before from people that I would deem very credible, and it hasn't happened. Romano gets it wrong occasionally. Ornstein gets it wrong occasionally. Honestly, I hope he doesn't feel it's anything other than a bit of banter coming back across because, look, as I've said many times, and I can only repeat this, we don't get on anymore, but I don't wish him any badness whatsoever. He isn't a bad fella. Connor Bradley's had some words to say after agreeing that new Liverpool deal and signing that new Liverpool contract that will keep him here for at least another 4 years. He said, we want to make this continued success. We don't want to just have a Premier League trophy. We want to have multiple, and we want Champions Leagues and FA Cups and Carabao Cups. We've just got to keep being hungry for more success, and I'm pretty sure with this squad we will. He went on to say, to achieve all the things I've achieved with the club to this day is pretty special. I just want to keep making more memories together and keep it going. And we want you to keep making them memories as well, young Connor. So, right-hand side boxed off. We need a left back to bring in the left-hand side, and we'll get that one sorted out soon, I hope. It is looking very firmly like Kirkes is the number one target, but will there be a sticking point with Bournemouth over the fee? £45 million is apparently what they're asking. Said new song for Frimpong will have to be Dr. Dre, Keep the Heads Ringing. I love that song, man. That brings me back to when I was younger. Ring Dig Dong. Here's Jeremy Frimpong. I don't know, man. You'll have to discuss that with the cop, but I could be on board with it, mate. I love a bit of Dre, so yeah, why not? Adrian, Frimpong's number should be 99. I see what you've done there, sir. Well played. What will his number be? If you were to have a guess, what do we think he's going to take as his number? Jeremy Frimpong. It's not going to be 66 anyway, is it? King 7th said, who do you think we sign next? Oh, God, it's a good question. I don't know. I'm sitting here turning over in the old brain trying to figure out what I think would be likely. And honestly, I don't know. Because I don't know if they want to push and really try and bang the drum for Kirkes. I don't know if they need to move quickly and they want to go and look at Haddo. I think the next thing on the to-do list should be to figure out the end point of Canade's situation. So I'm hoping that the next signing the club make is Ibrahim Kanade to a new deal. So that should be the priority for me right now. And I think we'd want an answer to that over the next couple of weeks anyway. You know, before the trophy's lifted, I think, even if it's privately, I'd want Ibrahim Kanade's situation to be sorted. When is the last time we signed a player before the season ended? Hopefully more good things to come. Love to you and the family. Can't wait to see you, mate. Thank you so much, my man. And thank you for the review as well on Cameo. Appreciate it. Really helps. I'm sure there's been times before we've had a signing in the bag before the season ended, but definitely feels like this was a PR reaction, doesn't it? And I don't mean that we wouldn't have signed Frimpong anyway. I mean, it feels like we need to make a statement before the end of the season that, okay, we've lost the young Scouser, but we've already got the next star on that right hand side brought in and boxed off. We do love a release clause. We know that as well. This can be paid, I think, 4 installments. Also today, I'm sure you've seen, but Dean Huijsen is signed for Real Madrid. So that's that one gone. And look, he didn't go to a rival in the Premier League, but he did go over to a European rival. But I can understand it from his perspective. Just become a full Spanish international and now goes and plays for Real Madrid and will be playing in the Club World Cup. So it is what it is there. What's a realistic summer window and how much do you think we realistically spend? Thank you, Jai, for the question. What's a realistic window? Well, we've done a right back. We've got a keeper coming in. 1 centre back if we renew Canade. 2 centre backs if we don't renew Canade. A left back with Costas to be sold. Kelleher will probably move on as well. Into midfield, that's one area, mate, I'm really struggling to figure out. So there's been lots of links to defensive midfielders, attacking midfielders, creative midfielders, and I don't know how serious that a priority that would be. So I think we need a striker, 100%. And look, if I'm being honest, I'd sell Diogo Jota and Darwin. I've said this all the way through. So I think it could depend on what happens with, I was going to say Havertz again, with Florian Wirtz. If we can get Wirtz, it might change the direction of the way that we go about building the attack or the way that we go about reinforcing the attack. But I don't know, man. I don't know, but I am excited that we've gotten off to a good start and hopefully we back this up with some more good news in the window. So, do you see signing Wirtz, Alvarez and Kirkes this window, or do you expect less money to be spent? Mate, I would bite your hand off for that window. Throw in a centre-back signing there and I would bite your hand off. That would be wet dream kind of stuff, mate. With all due respect, that would be incredible. I don't see us spending that much money, but can you imagine? I'd go as far as to say, Bert, if we ended this window with a centre-back in, Alvarez, Wirtz, Kirkes and Frimpong, I'm saying we're talking big trophies for a fair few years. That would make us favourites, in my opinion, for the Premier League without a doubt. And I go as far as to say we should probably be favourites for the Champions League if that was the window. It would be a statement, mate, and it would be a statement that we're here to stay and we have serious intentions of building a dynasty. But again, I do think it's probably a little bit too much to expect from us. But to get back to the amount, somebody asked me a minute ago, how much do I think we spend? I don't know. And honestly, like I've said all the way through, I don't care about the net spend as long as we've got the position sorted and we're happy. If we do good business with sales, happy days. To me, it's not a matter of saying, oh, I want FSG to spend 300 million net. I want them to spend, and if in the course of spending they move on players that the manager doesn't think is going to get to the grade, that's okay. Nothing wrong with bringing in good money for fringe players. We've done it in the past. So let's say we sold Darwin and we used that money to buy another striker. I'm happy with that. Let's say we sold Elliott and we had to put money on top of Elliott's fee to bring in somebody like a Florian Wirtz. Or if we sold Jarell Kwanzaa and brought in a centre-back who the manager thinks is ready for the here and now. I'm okay with all of that as long as we look at it and think, without any hesitation, this squad is better placed going in than we were this season. And that's all I want at the end of a window. What the numbers are, look, we'll keep track of them, as promised. We will have the net spendometer. But ultimately, it's about just ticking off, do we have 2 players at right back? Do we have 2 players at left back? Do we have 4 or 5 centre-backs? Do we have 2 good goalkeepers? And a lot of those questions are already yes. So three more signings and then a couple of replacements if players move on. And I think we're pretty much good to go.